course. Of course.
Gotta be kidding me.
I'm sitting up here like, oh, it's gonna be so hard for me to pick horror books with all of these prompts. This is being so mean to me. Will the spooky version of my tabletop TBR game be naughty or nice for the month of October? And will I be able to pick only spooky books with the prompts that we get? I don't know. Let's find out. Before we get into it, let's figure out how we did last month. As usual, if you want to skip around, there is a menu down below. And let's figure out our points. Starting off with the board points, we did only get 1 during the game last month. I did read 3,729 pages in September, so I got 3 points there. I read 1 book worth 4 points from our prompt cards, then 4 books worth 2 points each, and only 1 book with only 1 prompt card point, totaling 12 card points. I read 6 sequels, so I get 6 bonus points from that, plus 1 reread and 1 classic, giving me 2 additional bonus points, totaling 8 bonus points. That means we have a grand total of 24 milestone points to put here on the milestone tracker. Since we started off with 2, that does mean we are going to be able to fill out the board with 1 to spare for next month. That also means that we are going to end up with 5 bonus card pulls right before this month's game to use for the October reads. Because of that, I do get 10 points for completing a full milestone tracker, and because I have reached 125 books so far, I do get 10 additional points for hitting that milestone, bringing us to 20 milestone points. Throughout the month of September, I did read 11 books, so I get 11 points there, and our grand total for the month is 55 points. That's not amazing, but it's also not terrible. Hopefully, we will do a lot better in October. So let's get to it and see what we get. Okay, and now we get to the October Tabletop TBR Halloween edition. As you can see, I've added all of these spooky spots to the board. Every 13 spaces, we have a haunt ghost. We also have our random roll pickers have been changed into boo stickers, which are also haunt rolls. And then we also have trick or treat jar tokens. I've also made this lovely random haunt roll table where I can get either extra rounds, double toil and trouble, which would be a double prompt pull, the trick or treat jar, a familiar pick where my lovely familiar Kiwi gets to pick my book, a muggle prompt or a regular prompt, and a mood read. I also made a couple of temporary tickets for the October haunt game. So now let's get into it. We start here. Last month we ended up getting demoted. I do have a ton of game board cards that I'm hoping to use, and we ended up getting 5 bonus cards to start the game from last month's points, plus the 5 we always start off with. So first one, a romance, 500 plus pages, a debut novel. Go ahead and shuffle these a little more. An LGBTQIA+, and a general it's worth more. For the start of the game, a classic, busy, still get a point, a new author, another busy, still get a point, and lastly, a sci-fi. Okay. As usual, these are bonus points to be used throughout the month. I will try and pair them with some of the books that we end up with our prompts. Let me put the haunt table off to the side, and let's start our first round. Okay, a 6 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You've got to be kidding me! Oh, that sucked. Okay, so we're back where we started and we get a normal prompt. Should I re-roll that? You guys, you know what? I'm going to finally use one of these cards. Let's use a re-roll that so that I can actually make some progress on this board. Okay, a 6 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. A regular prompt, but we haven't been demoted again. First prompt is a book no one is talking about. All right, for our first prompt, The Other Ones by Fran Hart. I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about this book so far, and it definitely has the proper spooky vibes. So it sounds like there is a character who lives in a house with a ghost who has a bunch of misfit friends, and they all work together to try and rid him of his ghost problems. It seems like it should be a fun, spooky, cute time, and it is deemed a queer book, so I will be able to use my LGBTQIA+ bonus points with this if I read it. Okay, round number 2, we usually start with 5. Obviously, we have our tracker up here to keep track of our rounds in case those change. Round number 2. Which means we're gonna do another round, so that will go up, and then we're gonna move forward 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another demotion. Okay, naughty much. I guess we're seeing how this game is going. What? Oh my goodness. This really is either too nice or too mean to me. What is it with tabletop TBR? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It is fine. We got this. Okay, let's pick our next prompt. It looks like we have a familiar Pixar read naturally from the prompt deck. So let's see what Kiwi picks for me. And chosen by my lovely familiar who is ready to scamper off. We ended up getting The Last Word by Taylor Adams. And this is about a woman who posts a negative book review that she believes the author didn't take very well and might be coming after her in retaliation for that review. I really enjoyed No Exit by Taylor Adams, so I'm interested in seeing how this one plays out. I'm sure it's going to be very high action and intense and thrilling with lots of twists and turns. I've seen a lot of different reviews for this that are both negative and positive, and I'm just interested in seeing where I fall in the middle of everything. Hopefully I end up enjoying it. Fingers crossed. And thanks again to Kiwi for picking that for me. Thanks, sweetie. Can you look at the camera?
Please, Kiwi, look at the camera.
I'm gonna put you down now. All right, next round. Okay, 6. That's not too, wait, that's not what I got last time, is it? No, I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A regular prompt. Okay. Gosh, this is being so mean to me. So a book that's been on my TBR for over a year. I decided to go with The Supernaturals by David L. Goldman, and I've had this for ages. I don't fully remember how I came across it, but because I'm a big fan of paranormal and haunted house vibes, and this just kind of feels like it will tick all of those boxes, I did pick it up and then felt a little bit hesitant about actually reading it, so it's just been sitting on my shelf. So now is the perfect time to give it a shot. It sounds like there is a house with a very spooky past and somebody who, while trying to investigate it, had a lot of issues that ended up ruining their career. And then 7 years later, we now have some ambitious person who is trying to make a TV show revolving that previous person and this house, bringing them all back together, and obviously chaos or whatever ensues. But it does sound like these ghost hunters have something coming for them, as instead of them hunting the ghost starts hunting them. I don't know. We'll see. It sounds like it could be fun. I also feel like this will work for a new author for the bonus card, so hopefully we can rack up some of those points since I haven't read anything from this author before. Currently, we have 3 more rounds to go. Let's see. 5, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get another roll so we can get further on the board. That's a good one. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3. Another regular prompt. Or we can use another re-roll that and see if we can get further along. I think I'm gonna try and get further along. I said I was gonna use these up. So let's get this out of the way and see if we can get farther, because we're trying to get a board point. Okay, another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. That means we have our first haunt roll. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so I'm going to roll one of the 6-sided dice and see what we get. That's a 2. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that means we have double toil and trouble. We will get to pick 2 prompts for this round. You know, I was hoping for some chaos, and she's delivering. Okay, first one, a booktuber's favorite. All right. And then for this prompt, I went through and looked at several different booktubers' favorite horror books and found something that I did have on my shelf that I am pretty excited about. So here is the video that I actually grabbed this from. Thank you so much for your contribution to the challenge. And if you would like to check out her channel, I will have that link down below so you can go show her some love. But obviously from that, I ended up picking When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen, which I have heard great things. I know both Kayla from Books and Lala and Jessie on YouTube recommended this, saying that I would like it, so I definitely have to give it a shot. I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank you. So this one is around a small town where some friends grew apart and then they come back for a plantation wedding, and a lot of the weird, spooky undertakings that happen during this already bizarre situation. And I'm nervous, but I'm also really excited to give it a shot and see how I end up feeling about it. And since this is a debut novel, I will use my bonus point card for that. And then our next one for this round is a paperback book. I'm actually surprised at how many horror paperback books I have. I'm sitting up here like, oh, it's gonna be so hard for me to pick horror books with all of these prompts. I feel like even though the game is doing me dirty, it's also being kind of nice, right? Like, it's not too bad. Anyway, I decided that I would pick up The Between by Tanana Reeve Dew, which is another book that I've had for a while, and I guess I've just been a little bit intimidated by it. So in this case, we have a character who ended up being saved from death as a child, and many years later, he's coming to think that maybe he wasn't supposed to survive because things are coming to haunt him. He becomes obsessed with trying to protect himself and his family as horrible things are coming for them, with his African-American judge wife who has some shady prospects out to get her, and his own dark past, which may have even more sinister implications towards their future. It sounds like there's going to be the questioning of reality. There's going to be a balance between real life horrors and supernatural ones, and I'm really excited to see where this takes me. Okay, so we have at least 2 more to go. Okay, a 5 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do I want to roll again? I have 2 more of these. Let's use our draw 2, keep 1. So I will put that here, and we will pick 2 prompts. Okay, so we have a graphic novel or comic, or a book with a face on the cover. Which one should we go with? Okay, and admittedly with this one, I wasn't sure which one to go with because obviously I'm also trying to make sure that whatever I get is spooky. I did remember that I have Artie and the Wolf Moon, a graphic novel with some definitely spooky vibes. In this story, we have Artie who discovers that her mother is a werewolf and asks her to explain everything. Then, while she's trying to uncover her own abilities, she starts meeting more werewolf friends and discovers that wolves might not be the scariest thing in the woods. So yeah, this one seems like it could be a fun, quick read. I'm super excited to read a spooky graphic novel by a POC author and artist. Okay, possibly our last roll for the game. Let's see. 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not too bad. Let's see what we get for our last prompt. A book published in 2020. Okay, and for our next prompt, I decided to pick up The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. This obviously was published in 2020 and has been on my shelf for a little while for a project that I was hoping to do that never kind of came into fruition. So either now it's time or we're just gonna get around to reading the books that I had gotten for it. So we'll see how that goes. We have a recently divorced woman who goes back home to her ailing, eccentric uncle who owns a tourist spot filled with wonders, curiosity, and taxidermy. One night while she's closing up, she discovers a mysterious hole that I believe takes her into a whole nother world, and interesting things ensues. It's gotten some good praise, and it sounds like it is filled with horror, fun, creepiness, and dread all in one package, and I'm excited to see what that actually entails. And somehow we have in fact made it to the last prompt, considering all the things that my TBR game had in store for me. When she delivers, she delivers. I do still have a bunch of bonus prompts that I can use for other things that I read throughout the month, along with a small stack of books that I'm also hoping to read, my Buzzwordathon pick for October, the POC book club pick that we'll be doing a live show for in October, and then a couple recent tabletop TBR picks that I haven't gotten around to completing. And here we have it. I did manage to get all spooky books, so yes. And I would say that the TBR game was a little naughty, but not too naughty. It was also a little nice, so we got the best of both worlds. I really hope you enjoyed. I have quite a lot of books on my plate for this month, and hopefully I will get through most, if not all of these, so we can start racking up those points and catching up. Thanks so much for being awesome. Include a pumpkin emoji if you made it this far. Watch my other TBR games if you enjoyed this, and I will catch you in the next video. Until next time, bye! Can I just get spooky bumps? Bumps? What the f? I am so hot. She's hot. She's crazy.